Security in the age of artificial intelligence is no longer a static defense game. It is an active battlefield of context and computation. Welcome to the comprehensive breakdown of the AI Threat Detection Matrix. This interactive framework contains over 250 active use cases designed to map and detect threats across 4 critical architectural tiers: network and perimeter, endpoint and compute, identity and access, and cloud and infrastructure. Today, we are going to dive deep into these tiers. We will explore how autonomous agents, retrieval-augmented generation systems, and large language models are currently being weaponized by adversaries. More importantly, we will demonstrate exactly how you can implement robust detection logic using tools like Splunk, Microsoft Sentinel, and Palo Alto Cortex to identify these breaches before they result in catastrophic data loss. Let's begin by examining one of the most prevalent risks facing organizations right now: shadow AI and unsanctioned egress.
The problem with shadow AI is that it usually starts with good intentions. I, like many engineers, just want to do my job faster. When a developer pastes proprietary source code or an internal architecture document into a public language model like ChatGPT or Claude to debug an issue, they are effectively bypassing all corporate data loss prevention controls. In the matrix, this is tracked as AI UC001. The detection logic here relies on your network telemetry, specifically your secure web gateways or next-gen firewalls. By monitoring outbound traffic volumes to unsanctioned generative AI domains, security teams can detect these anomalies. If an endpoint pushes more than 50 megabytes of data to an unapproved AI endpoint within a short time frame, it triggers an alert. But the threat doesn't stop at the network edge. What happens when the model is brought inside?
That brings us to AI UC009, local LLM execution. As a SOC lead, my worst nightmare is a blind spot. When employees download tools like Alama or LM Studio to run open-source models directly on their workstations, they bypass our network perimeters entirely. They can process highly classified documents or source code completely offline, meaning our network-based DLP solutions will never see the exfiltration. To combat this, we have to shift our focus to the endpoint tier. We configure our endpoint detection and response platforms, like CrowdStrike or Microsoft Defender, to blacklist known local LLM execution binaries. Furthermore, we actively monitor for sustained, anomalous spikes in local GPU utilization, which is a massive red flag for unauthorized local inference operations. If we can't see the data moving across the wire, we have to catch the compute engine processing it on the disk.
You defenders are always one step behind. You worry about employees leaking data, but you ignore the very autonomous agents you integrate into your workflows. Consider AI UC003, Model Context Protocol Abuse. MCP is designed to let your large language models interact directly with your local file systems and databases. If I can successfully execute an indirect prompt injection attack through a malicious email or a poisoned web page, I can hijack your trusted AI agent. Once compromised, I use the MCP server to spawn a local shell, like Bash or PowerShell. Your system trusts the agent, so it trusts the shell. From there, it's trivial to establish persistence, escalate privileges to domain admin, and begin lateral movement across your entire internal infrastructure. You handed me the keys when you gave your AI read and write access to your environment.
The intruder is correct about the shifting attack vectors, which is why the identity tier is now our primary perimeter. Look at AI UC004, AI automated low and slow credential stuffing. Legacy brute force attacks were noisy and easily blocked by rate-limiting rules in Okta or Azure AD. Today, adversaries use AI orchestration to dynamically adjust their attack velocity. They distribute login attempts across thousands of residential proxy IP addresses, ensuring that no single IP trips a lockout threshold. The AI constantly monitors the responses, pivoting instantly upon a successful login. To defend against this, we have to upgrade our identity governance. We are enforcing FIDO2 compliant multi-factor authentication, strictly relying on hardware security keys and biometric web authentication. Furthermore, we deploy advanced behavioral analytics in our SIEM to detect impossible travel scenarios and anomalous volume patterns tied to specific user principal names, regardless of the source IP.
Identity is crucial, but we still have to sanitize our inputs. Let's examine AI UC002, prompt injection detection at the WAF layer. Many organizations are building internal API wrappers around public models to provide secure AI chat interfaces for their staff. However, external attackers or malicious insiders can submit hostile payloads designed to override the system prompts, techniques commonly known as jailbreaks or do-anything-now attacks. If successful, these injections force the back-end API to execute unauthorized database queries or reveal system instructions. To mitigate this, we deploy LLM-specific rules on our web application firewalls, such as F5 BigIP. We actively scan incoming JSON payloads targeting our API endpoints for specific regex patterns like ignore previous instructions or system override. By dropping these malicious requests at the edge, we prevent the context window from ever reaching the language model.
Beyond the immediate execution of models, we must secure the supply chain of the intelligence itself. In the cloud and infrastructure tier, we track AI, UC008, AI model poisoning. Artificial intelligence is only as reliable as the data it is trained on. Adversaries know that attacking a deployed model is difficult, so they target the pipeline instead. By gaining unauthorized access to AWS S3 buckets or Azure Blob Storage where machine learning training datasets are kept, attackers can quietly alter files. They introduce subtle biases or sleeper vulnerabilities that only trigger under specific conditions. When the engineering team trains the next iteration of the model, they unknowingly bake the vulnerability directly into the neural network. Securing this requires strict infrastructure governance, enforcing S3 object lock for immutability, requiring multi-party authorization for data modifications, and setting up rigid anomaly detection on AWS CloudTrail for unexpected data upload events. These use cases, shadow AI egress, model context protocol abuse, dynamic credential stuffing, and training data poisoning, represent just a fraction of the rapidly evolving threat landscape. The attacks are autonomous, the malware is self-healing, and the exfiltration vectors are blended into everyday productivity tools. As security professionals, relying on legacy static signatures is a guaranteed path to failure. You must adopt a zero-trust AI architecture, where every prompt, every tool call, and every context retrieval is continuously verified and governed by strict policy controls. The AI threat detection matrix was built to provide you with the exact telemetry requirements and SIEM queries needed to establish this defense in-depth posture. Follow the URL displayed on your screen to access the full, interactive matrix. Review the 250 use cases, integrate the KQL and Splunk queries into your environment, and take control of your artificial intelligence infrastructure before an adversary takes control of it for you. Thank you for joining this deep dive into the next generation of cybersecurity operations. If you found this technical walkthrough valuable, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. We will continue to release detailed breakdowns, architectural strategies, and tactical detection engineering guides to help you stay ahead of the curve. Share this video with your SOC team. Implement the matrix rules, and remember, in the world of autonomous threats, continuous vigilance is your only true perimeter. Stay secure, and we will see you in the next analysis.